what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to like too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we
Agree to disagree.
And I was like,
Okay, moving on.
well, the makeup bottle.
Not little.
It's like a cracked out T-bird, some grease.
Yeah, I can
You
see
know,
that.
she's got that black hair.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to ChickChat here on the Mesh.tv. Thank you for joining us. As always, I'm Mary Margaret, and I've got Jeanette here with me, and we're just ready to catch up on each other's lives and probably, more importantly, what we're watching on television.
Yes. Now that
How you doing,
everything's
Jeanette?
back. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Last time we talked, TV was on strike.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, kind of still is because like of the whole like fall TV stuff's not really starting up because really the strike just sort of came to an understanding, if you will, of negotiations. But obviously nobody was prepared and nobody's written a TV show. So I'm just going to jump right into what we can talk about today, which is all that we have been given on TV, which is competition shows. It has all been competition shows. And I'm saying competition shows because I'm very adamant, I have been over the years with you, that these shows are not reality shows. Reality shows are things like The Kardashians, Southern Charm, Laguna Beach, that type of stuff, right? Those are reality shows, although we know they're not real reality because there's cameras in people's faces and they know they're coming. But
Right.
in general, that is not up to be what reality shows are. You know, I want to clarify, competition shows are when there is a prize to be won, that you have to do something over an amount of time and then you win a prize. So shows like Survivor, Amazing Race, Big Brother, all those things that are back in our lives right now, praise be, they are competition shows. But as I am usually very, very excited about competition show season, and it always kicks off with Big Brother the summertime, because summer is for Big Brother, as we know. I will have to say, Jeanette, and you can disagree if you like, but I'm very disappointed in our competition shows that we have going on right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of into Amazing Race. So
Amazing Race is the grown-up show, I feel
It
like.
is,
It's,
yeah.
it's the grown-up show of all of them, right? I mean,
you can't really miss with that when it's people racing around the world. There's not really a lot to mess up.
right.
So you don't expect drama. You might expect some things to happen at like a pit stop or something. But
Yeah, and the only thing that really went wrong over the years in Amazing Race was COVID, right? That's the only thing that screwed stuff up. But here's the shows that I'm going to touch on right now that I'm a little disappointed in. Okay, we're gonna chat briefly about Big Brother. I don't, and we'll get into it. Okay, so Big Brother, Survivor, Dancing with the Stars, and The Masked Singer. Do you watch any of these or all of them?
I have been watching all but Survivor. I think I stopped watching Survivor. So this is going to date. I think it was like maybe one of the first 5 seasons when the construction worker from Boston was on there and he married some girl. Was that
Boston
Australia?
Rob.
Boston Rob. Was that Australia?
I cannot keep up with the locations.
Okay. Well,
but
that was
Boston
the last
Rob
season I watched.
He married Amber from there as well. They are still married as far as I understand. And Boston Rob has returned several times on there. But
he's also on that demo or that celebrity reno thing show, that celebrity renovation.
Oh, yeah.
He helps with that. So I enjoy Boston Rob. So
Yeah, well, let's just say Boston Rob would be a welcome sight this
Yeah.
season.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
just say.
I haven't watched Survivor in years, but the other shows, up to date, caught up, been
Okay,
watching them. We're good.
fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so we're going to start off with what I am a rookie to. I am here to admit that I have begun watching The Masked Singer. I'm new to this. I have seen bits and pieces of it over the last several seasons. I know what it is. I know it's been out there, all that stuff. I honestly, for a while, have thought it was kind of a joke. But for some reason, it was on the other night. It was like the season premiere of something. I don't know. I'm very picky whenever I watch, when I have shows recorded. Um, I like watching shows that have been recorded. I don't like watching them live anymore because I can't stand the commercials, right? So I get used to watching it recorded. But you know how sometimes if you're recording a show and if your TV's on and then you have your show set to record and then the actual show comes on at that time, then I like freak out a little bit. I'm like, no, 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 I don't want to see it right now. Like, so I quickly change the channel, so that I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not ready to watch because I don't want to start it and then have to later go back. And anyway, it's a little pet peeve of mine. So something happened where I changed the channel really quick. I changed it to whatever's next, and it was The Masked Singer. Puts it on. I'm probably fixing dinner or whatever it's on in there, just background noise. And I got sucked in. Okay. I get sucked in. Spoiler alerts to anybody who's watching, because if you're like behind on any of this, just maybe don't listen to this episode. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you we're going to talk about things that have happened on these shows. People that are eliminated, people that have been revealed, people that have been kicked off the island, whatever there is. But I started watching it because I heard through one of these clues that they give on The Masked Singer. I immediately knew who one person was. Like I could immediately figure it out. And I was
Same.
like, this game's stupid. Like what? Like, how do they not know who this is?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I got sucked in, right? So then I'm like, I know who everybody is. I mean, I don't, but, so then I start watching. So then I was like, well, gosh, now I'm invested. I'm going to have to hit record so that every other episode is now being recorded in the future. So now I'm up to date and now I don't miss it. And now I'm like watching every episode and I'm a smidge embarrassed. I'm a little bit
No,
embarrassed with
don't
myself.
be embarrassed. Masked Singer is actually a really get away from the ridiculous costumes that they're
See,
wearing.
I can't.
Yeah, the costumes are ridiculous, but
Why?
I
Why
will.
do they have these? Like, I
Well,
don't
it's just.
understand.
I think it's just to cover the entire body so that you can't really tell, and they use some voice adjusters or whatever
Yeah.
they're called,
Yeah.
so that you can't really hear their voice. But I will say, except for the one exception this year, I'm always like trying to figure out the clues, and the clues are really hard.
Yes.
Because you've got to watch the vignettes that they put together. You got to look for everything. They kind of try to summarize it with the judges.
Yeah.
When they give their guesses, but it's always like fascinating to me. I'm like, oh, I was completely wrong, or I was on the right track, just the wrong person.
Sure.
This one person this year was the first one where first episode I was like, oh god, I know who this is.
Yes.
And I'm annoyed.
Yes.
But
Same, because I bet it's the same person that we knew.
probably. So I was like, but I think I'm going to tell you, his clues were a little more obvious than they typically give.
Okay.
So part of me is like, either they had nothing else for this person, or they just really wanted people to guess him immediately right away.
So tell me this, riddle me this. Okay. Because again, I'm rookie on this. I have a couple questions. First of all, do the judges legitimately not know?
They don't know.
And they don't have like a pool of people that it could be and they're like picking from, right? Like
no, because in fact, Donnie Wahlberg was a contestant one year, and Jenny had no clue.
Stop.
No, she had no clue.
Okay.
I don't even
So,
think Nick Cannon knows.
oh,
So,
okay.
like, even when they're walking around backstage, they're masked and they're in, like, robes. And they're
Okay.
all separated. So I think it's a complete surprise I don't know that Nick Cannon knows.
Okay. So, yes. So the judges on the shows, for anybody that's not ever seen this, is Jenny McCarthy, Nicole Scherzinger, however you say it. She's the Pussycat Doll, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ken
Jung.
Ken Jung, yes. And Robin Thicke,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they have been the judges the
The
whole
entire
time.
time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that was my first question. Second question is, they do not have to be technically musically inclined people,
They don't.
but they are always singing, correct?
They are always singing. Yes.
Okay.
It's like karaoke.
Got it.
Sometimes in some of the seasons, with some of the singers who have really distinctive voices, it's been very obvious.
Yeah.
Just through their voices, sometimes through their clues. Like, there was a couple that I figured out not immediately, but like Robin Thicke was like, that sounds like Gladys Knight, and sure enough,
Right.
it was Gladys Knight.
Right.
She can't hide her voice that well.
Right.
Leanne Rimes, when she was on there, everyone's like, that's Leanne Rimes. She's got if anybody listens to music, like all genres of music,
Yeah.
you're going to know who some of these singers are just by the tone of their voice and the way that they sing. So some of that is obvious, but the other people that they get on here that you've never heard sing, like the person last night that nobody guessed, it was just completely like, I didn't even consider that. It was just like, oh, you've never heard these people sing. It's kind of
Right.
like their clues were very confusing. You're like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last question I had is, so when the audience votes,
Mm-hmm.
because they're voting now, are they voting for the best performance, or are they voting who they want to be revealed? You see what I'm saying?
I don't understand that. I think they're voting for who to keep. So the people with the least amount of votes are the ones who are revealed.
Right, because you could see how you could like trick the vote, right? Like if you're in the audience and you're like, oh my God, like I'm dying to know who this person is. And they're an awesome singer and a great performer. But I really just want to know. So therefore you vote for that person because you're just really wanting to see who they are revealed. But really, are you supposed to be voting for the best performance?
You know what? I think it's who they want. I don't know. Let's look it up. Because now I'm really
like, that's what I couldn't figure out. Because it is one of my little irks about the show that I don't really like is that whenever they're constantly showing the crowd shots and the crowd is always going like, oh yeah, this one, and they're constantly talking to each other. It really looks fake and silly to me. But I just couldn't figure that out, because if you're voting for the best performance, then I don't, like, then it seems like, well, that if it's like a karaoke style show, then that seems like it might be a little jaded if you've got somebody like Gladys Knight or Leanne Rimes on there, right?
Yeah. So I would think I typed in the wrong thing at first. Work.
But yet, if you're voting for like, oh, we want to see who Pickle is, then, we're just dying to know who this guy is, then let's vote for him. Okay. That's where I'm not really sure. But
okay, so it says, after performances conclude, the audience and panelists, so the judges, vote for their favorite singer using an electronic device. The show uses a weighted voting system. Panelists and audience members' votes are worth 50% each and combine to form a score.
Okay, so they're just voting for their favorite person overall. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean
favorite singer.
It doesn't mean
So
best singer,
doesn't
it
mean
doesn't
best.
mean best performance. It just means their favorite one from that time.
Yes, from that night. So this is why in going to my theory of everybody kind of figured out who the person that we're thinking about was,
The
is
Diver.
because the diver is
Yeah.
because his performance wasn't fantastic, but one of the judges put all the clues together and the first week had their guess and they were booed.
Yeah.
The second week had the same guess with more clues. The audience cheered this time, but I think it was kind of like, guys, don't boo the people.
Yeah.
But my guess is everyone had figured out the judge was right. This is more likely than not the person that it is, and didn't vote for him
Ah,
because
okay. Well, I've already
that
said that
wasn't a terrible.
I've already said we're giving spoilers on here. And
Yeah.
so this was what, the second person
The
revealed?
second person revealed, yes.
Yes. First person revealed was
Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson. Thank you. Second person revealed was in a diving costume, like a submarine-ish, with a octopus wrapped around it or whatever.
Yeah, it was weird.
Called him the Diver. And immediately, like I said, immediately from the first set of clues, and I think the combination of the performance too.
The performance, the movements, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It's almost like he wanted to be revealed.
It was Tom Sandoval.
It was
Of Vanderpump Rules. It was so obvious and so clear to me. So yeah, that being sort of my first foray into like, oh, that's who this is. This show is horrible because I know who it is. But yes, I get it. Like it's a clever show because it's a lot like, I mean, not like it, but the concept of like The Voice, right? Where you're not seeing the person, so therefore you're not judging the person based on who they are and what they look like or anything like that. It's, but this one's obviously more playful and fun. So last night, fan favorite, the pickle, is revealed. People thought it was going to be Charlie Sheen, or
I thought it was Charlie Sheen.
I thought it was Charlie Sheen as well. I was behind that.
When they put the friends up there, I was like, oh, that's the Brat Pack. Because they've got the one redhead with Molly Ringwald. And
That's right. I 100% was behind the Charlie Sheen reference. And then what's his name? The shock jock. Howard Stern, could have even been. And then and then to hear Robin Thicke be like, oh, I know who it is because I just saw the dance moves. It's clearly Joel.
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale. He's like, I've danced with Joel McHale. That's Joel McHale. I know exactly who this is. Guys, I'm sorry. I know who it is. It's Joel McHale. But to have him pull off the mask and see that it is Michael Rappaport, who played the cop and Phoebe's boyfriend on Friends, who has been in obviously tons of movies and TV shows over the years, is a big fan of Bravo, is always on Watch What Happens Live and things like that. That was fun to watch. It was fun to see them be wrong. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that time of it, because that was my first time of seeing none of the guesses be correct.
Right.
Because even with Anthony Anderson, somebody did mention him.
It was Ken.
Ken, because Ken had gotten it right, and he also got Tom Sandoval right. But
he did.
This was the first time that I had seen it where nobody got it right, which I thought was cool. So I will continue to watch. I am really intrigued by the cow because it's a man.
The female cow that's a man. Yes,
it's a man, right? And whenever the cow is performing, and after the fact, and is very silly and stuff, it's very feminine acting, like silly and funny and stuff. But like, it's clearly a man, and and he's good and all.
Really?
And I can't figure it out. But
I
I know I'm triggered. So we'll see. But
Well, it's funny because I want to say one of the first 2 weeks, someone at guest Lance Bass, and then he's on the show last
and then he
night.
came on last night,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, so it's not him.
It's not Lance.
I got it. I got it. Well, and it was funny. I think the first week that I was watching, in almost every package, like every time somebody came out, it seemed like they always said, ooh, maybe he was in a boy band. It's like they're always bringing up a boy band as a possibility for one of the people.
I do think one of them wasn't a boy band.
And I mean, they hop around, but it feels like every single character that came out, they were like, oh, you know what? Maybe he was in a boy band. And I'm like,
right. Every character, like, he's got boy band moves.
Exactly. Look, he toured around the country. Maybe he was in a boy band. And I'm like, okay, we get it. There's like 5 members of every band now. They said like Ashley Parker Angel and stuff. They've mentioned him. They've mentioned Kevin Richardson. They've mentioned Jordan Knight. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But I have started The Masked Singer, and I'm invested. And we'll see. I'm getting there. Okay. So my next disappointment of the season is Dancing with the Stars. Okay. Here's why. Yeah, girl, I'm a fan, obviously, of the show. I've watched it, forever, right? I usually feel like, well, there's a couple things about this season. First of all, I usually feel like there is some people that come on that I'm like, oh, like they're kind of good, like surprisingly good and fun to watch. And like, you know, we got some talent and whatnot. And I just feel like a lot of these people are kind of bad. And I get that that's the point, you know, and whatnot. But something about these celebrities rubbed me wrong this year. And I'll break down some of them here in a minute. But my second ick of the season is Julianne Hough. I was never a Tyra Banks fan, and I was happy to see her go as a host. I love Alfonso, and so I was happy to have him as the host. Mm-hmm. He's great. Mm-hmm. I like Julianne Hough sitting on the judges panel. I'm fine with that. But something about her as a host, the way she does her voice and the way she keeps bobbing her head back and forth and going, I'm Julianne Hough, and everything, her voice goes this up and down annoying thing. It's like she's trying to do like a game show voice or something. And I can't listen to it much. Like I fast forward through the Up in the Skybox interviews.
Yeah, I can. It's a little Hough heavy for me, you know.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah. I don't need Derek and Julianne.
I don't need Derek and Julianne. I'm good with Derek.
Hough heavy is perfect.
I love Derek. I think he's a great judge.
I do too.
I think Julianne. I'm okay with Julianne as a judge, but I think she was trying to be a little bit like Carrie Ann and Naba and Len, to where she was pointing out the same things Carrie Ann was pointing out with technique, but then trying to be mean like Len. And I'm just kind of
yeah.
She's someone who I feel like tries too hard unnecessarily. Like
in life,
just be yourself and give the interviews. Yeah, I agree. I don't know that I'm big fan of Alfonso. Huge improvement from Tyra.
Yes.
But I don't feel like I need Julianne.
Well, and I feel like they could have somebody else like an Erin Andrews was, or like a whatever Brooke Burke or whatever her name was, somebody that's not a dancer. I don't
Yes,
need
I agree.
another dancer up in the skybox.
I
I
don't.
need
Yeah,
I need
agree.
a model-esque type girl that's going to go up there and just do some little sideline interviews, right?
Well, and I'm okay with it even not being a female. Like, I would
For
love
sure.
if Maxim would come back. I feel like Maxim would be like funny with them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
just someone to kind of lighten the mood. And
Yeah.
Julian, I think, just tries to still carry over the judges' things. And how did you feel about this dance? And I know I've been in your shoes, and I'm like,
I know.
just get to
And
the
like
scores.
like the other night, like she made some comment when Ariana, I think, had on little tennis shoes
Mm-hmm.
instead of heels. And it was like the way she looked down and was like, so I see here, like, we usually wear heels for the tang or for the quick step. And what do you have going on here? And I kind of want to be like, and Ariana even was like, we're working through it. Like we're just working through it.
That gave me a
And,
little bit of hesitation too, because I feel like there's an
yeah.
injury there that she doesn't
Yes.
want addressed. And
Yeah. And I
Julian
was
probably
like,
already knew that.
why would you say we usually wear heels? Like, you could have easily just said something like, okay, so like I know you had to have a adjustment to your costume because of maybe a potential injury. Like I hope everything's okay, but way to bedazzle these shoes. They look cute or something like that. But instead of we usually wear heels, what are you doing? I was like,
Did Tyra have someone in the sky deck?
no.
It was just the Tyra show. Look, because
They
wasn't
did
there
this. They did. Alfonso was there 1 year, right, with
maybe,
her,
maybe.
but she did 1 year solo,
Well,
and
I'm
they
good
just
with
did scores
doing the
up there.
scores on the floor. Do the scores on the
100%.
floor. I
Yeah.
don't need the skybox interviews. I feel like this is just a way to make a 2-hour show.
Yep.
I don't need all that.
And I always feel weird with the people standing behind them, the rest of the cast, like always having to like cheer and all this stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
like, knowing good and well, they all just got fives.
right.
Like,
I was so happy for your 8s and 9s.
yeah,
Yeah,
like great, you got nines, awesome. We just went down 3 points or whatever.
right.
So I don't know, but I'm just not a Julianne fan. In this capacity, I don't. You know what? I mean, I just wish she was on the darn show again. Like she was just such a fun
Yeah,
dancer to have on there. Like
she is a great dancer. Yes,
I loved her dances. I always loved her as a choreographer. I loved her performances. I wish that was what she was doing now.
same.
Um, and yeah, but I love Derek in the chair. Like that's great.
Although I wish he was still dancing too.
100%.
Mark, Julianne, and Max. I like Val.
Yep.
Derek. I always enjoyed the things that they put together. They were always so
Yep.
fun.
And Mark, we got him back last year for that like one little teaser, like came back for 1 year kind of thing. But I love Mark, and I always liked Louis, the older guy, Louis
Oh,
Van
yeah.
Amstel. I always loved him, but he was, he's been kind of off and on over the years. But yeah, and Artem has always been one of my favorites.
I like Artem. Yeah, Artem's
Yeah,
good.
and so it is a good group of pros this year, though. I think it's fairly good. Some of the cast for maybe the people that aren't watching. I don't want to sound like I don't like any of them. I do like some of them, but it always bugs me when the people that are really good are people that you don't know really who they are.
Oh, I had to ask my daughter who like 3 people were. It was I was like, who is like Lily? I'm gonna
Lily,
butcher her name,
Sochi,
but the one who's dancing with Val. Sochi, and the guy,
Mhm.
the young guy. I don't remember his name. Hunter? No, is that his name?
Oh no, Harry Jowsey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had to
All
ask my
right.
daughter who he was and who
Yes.
Lily was.
So same. So we have Jason Mraz, singer,
Surprisingly good dancer.
singer-songwriter, and clearly a good performer. Who
Yeah.
knew?
I had no clue he had that in him.
I know, and he's super cute about it. Like,
Mhm.
I'm a fan. That's great. Barry Williams from the Brady Bunch, Greg. I am fine with him because I like the concept of like when the older guys come on and and try to kind of have that moment. But I'm just being honest that Barry Williams gives me the willies and always has ever since I know about like his details from the Brady Bunch books and stuff. Like
Oh,
I just
I don't know those.
like the whole like affair with Florence Henderson and all that
Oh,
weirdness and all. And like I don't.
okay.
He just gives me the ick. I can't deal with him very much. Allison Hannigan, she's the One Summer at Band Camp girl,
Hmm.
and then How I Met Your Mother, and of course lots of other things. I like her in
Yes.
things, but I need her to I need her to I need her to be normal. Like I feel like when she's doing this that she's I don't know. I can't even describe it. Like you're there, you signed on, you agreed to do it, like act like you're okay with it or something. Like she just
Yeah.
seems to me like she's almost inconvenienced by it a little bit. But whatever, if this is the point in your career that you have to be on Dancing with the Stars, then you just need to enjoy the stipend that you're getting every week. So just go for it. All right, Maurizio from Housewives, married to Kyle, and but he's also obviously on the real estate thing. What's it called? Selling,
And he has his own
selling.
real estate. He has his own show about selling real estate.
Yeah, it's not selling sunset. It's like
No.
selling something else, but it's the same concept. It's like
Hmm.
Netflix, whatever. Um, Buying Beverly Hills.
Buying
That's it.
Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Buying Beverly Hills. Like I don't necessarily have a problem with him. I never really did whenever he was on Housewives with Kyle and stuff, Kyle Richards. But they are going through this whole weird divorce, separation. Nobody knows. It's up in the air. He's going out on dates. She's with a woman. Like I don't know. And now he gives me the ick too. Like I don't like it. I don't know.
Well, here's what I found interesting about him. So the first week, Kyle showed up to support him as one of his
Mm-hmm.
family members, and he was almost voted off the show.
Yes.
Then he comes out in between the first and second week and says, "We are separated."
Yes.
She's not in any more shows, and all of a sudden he's not in the bottom anymore.
Right.
So I'm like,
No, I
okay.
know. That's why it gives me the ick because
Yeah.
I don't know that it's like I don't know. And he played this whole at the very beginning. He did the whole. I mean, I've got Italian in me or whatever, and so I know how to move my hips and all. And I'm like, but you don't. Like you're not that great. And then
I was expecting him to be better.
I 100% thought he was going to be better. I thought he was going
Like,
to be a little more suave.
because didn't he say he grew up in Mexico? So I was like, oh, she's not really going to have to teach you how to do the salsa. She's just going to have to
Right.
refine it a little bit.
Right. No, he's
She-
not
he
good.
he had no.
He's not good.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really care for him. Okay, Harry Jowsey. This is a guy who was on the show Too Hot to Handle.
Okay.
One of the first like Netflix competition ones, seasons of Too Hot to Handle. And then he was on like another dating show. He's from Australia, so I think it was like an Australian dating show like before that or something. That's why he got put on the Netflix Too Hot to Handle show. But he became like, social media famous from that.
Okay.
He's obviously, he's good looking and whatever, but he started a podcast and yada yada with that. So I mean, he's just pure social media F boy, whatever. But he is dancing with Riley Arnold, who is Lindsay Arnold's younger sister. And Lindsay is not dancing this season. She, is spending time with her family and whatnot. So, but I did see some stuff online of Harry and Riley out and about together, holding
I heard
hands, walking through the crowds and stuff. So there's buzz that there's an actual romance there.
I heard
Big,
that.
big freaking surprise. Who knows?
What would two attractive young people do?
I know, right? Like, what
They're
else
spending 8 to 10 hours together a day. Yeah.
did we expect? Yeah, the guy from Too Hot to Handle. Sorry. And he's horrible. You know, he's not a good dancer. But by all means, if they're going to have a romance, he'll be sticking around. That's just the way this show stinking works. Okay, here's the big surprise of the day. I thought Tyson Beckford. I grew up, you know, with a thing for Tyson Beckford because my age bracket, that's your age bracket too. He was the it model
Yeah.
for our age bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And he was handsome.
Oh, yeah,
And
still is.
I mean, yeah, of course, still is.
Yeah.
But he was that guy, right? Like he was
Yeah.
the standard of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I see he's on the show and I was like, "Oh, hot damn. Yeah. Okay, great." He not good.
No. And that's to me one of the most disappointing things is when you take someone that you're like, oh, they're so handsome, they're this,
And
and then
he's
you see them move and you're like, oh,
and he's like,
it's
I
kind of
mean, if he can
disappointing.
walk a runway, like he always had just this like sex appeal to him too, right? Like
Yes.
when he can walk a runway and he can like give you these looks and stuff, but you put him in ballroom shoes and the man turns into a mannequin. Like he cannot
Can't get his feet right. Yeah.
can't do anything. It's so disappointing.
It's very disappointing. You just look at it like, I
so
wish you'd never come on this show.
It's so sad because now that's all I see.
Right? Like, oh, he's cute, but he's clumsy.
Oh my gosh.
Can't go. Yeah.
And you know who it's killing? You know who it is paining her to see this is Carrie Ann Inaba. You know she got the listing one day whenever she was like finding out who the pros or the celebrities were going to be, and she's like, "Oh,
Tyson.
Tyson Beckford's going to be on the show." Yes.
Oh.
And then you know she gets out there and she's like, "Oh no." Oh, what do I say? Because she doesn't want to like be that mean to him. Oh my gosh. It's just sad. Oh gosh. Okay. Lele Pons.
Lily Pons.
Lele Pons.
She's got a fun name.
I don't even know how to say your name because I don't even know who you are. She's Venezuelan American. She's a social media YouTuber, and she's an actress and a singer, of course, as she claims probably in her own Wikipedia page. But she got famous on Vine.
Oh.
Which, yeah, I know. Remember that? And of course, now it's come full circle with YouTube and with TikTok and all that stuff. That's where she comes from. But I never heard of this girl. I don't know who she is. And of course, she's with Brandon, who I like Brandon, but he still seems like a little baby to me sometimes. Like he's like baby dancer. And so I can't ever get behind. I can't get behind it.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. Adrian Peterson, OAP, the token football player that's got to come on the season.
Yeah.
That generally football players are really good on this show.
They're not bad. Yeah.
I typically stand behind them because I'm like, yeah, look at that little fancy footwork. And who knew?
Didn't one even win? Didn't Emmitt Smith win one year?
Yes. And then several of them have gone very far. Basketball players, not so much. Football players, yes. Okay. So you know that Britt Stewart, who is the partner, was like, yes, I just got AP. Like, this is my lucky year. She She is now in a steady relationship with her partner from last season, the deaf guy from Coda. Do you
Okay.
remember that? Yeah, they're in a relationship now.
Oh,
And
the
so
one who won the award?
the deaf guy
Oh,
that she
okay.
danced with
Okay.
last year, they're in a happy, committed relationship now. So she is like, I have got my life together over here with my new boyfriend, and I've got AP coming to me over here, and I'm going to win this season because he's a football player, and that's what happens. And then AP steps on the floor, and he can't dance either. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing. I always like watching the football players do it, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's saving him is that Tyson is there. Or
And you know
but
what? They kind of look a lot alike.
yeah, they wore the same, almost the
They
same outfit
wore the
last
same
week,
outfit
which
with
I
their
don't
hair, all that
understand.
stuff. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all are playing into this too much. But now, I don't know. I need him to be better. I need him to be better. Okay, Sochi Gomez, who
Don't know
you
who she
say
is, but
you
she's
say
great.
you say her name unlike it's spelled at all.
Right.
It's spelled with an X and a H and a T in it. But she's with Val, which therefore gives her a little bit of a pass in my book because I love Val.
And there he's
Um,
great, yeah.
yeah. So she is 17.
Mhm.
She has a Disney Channel kid. She's been in Raven's Home, the Babysitters Club. But some of the more adult members of our audience may know her from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse. So she is a Marvel kid too, which gives her a little more street cred, I guess. I would not have known that, but she's good. She's 17. Of course, she's good. She's got rhythm, and I just need her to stop making these weird facial expressions because she's overdoing it. She's putting the Disney on a little too much. This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, North Carolina, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story. But she's super cute and she's good. She's
She's
going to go
good.
far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocker of the season is that Mira Sorvino is on the cast.
Yeah.
Dancing with Gleb. I mean, Mira is a freaking Oscar winner. And, you know, I don't know. Like, I was really surprised to see her on there. And then to see her actually kind of taking it seriously and saying, like, oh, I'm an actress. And so therefore I can act sexy. Even if I can't dance, I can act it. You know, so instead she just goes out there and I mean, she's not fantastic, but she can pretend. And so she and Gleb get like all like up in each other's business on the dances, and she just doesn't care because she's, you know, acting. So
Yeah.
she's awkward to watch. Like I feel
She is.
uncomfortable watching her.
Yeah, that's one that's tough to watch because I just don't understand what's happening at the time.
She's uncomfortable.
It's like
I'm
there's
uncomfortable.
choreography, but there's not. Like he's doing choreography, but she's just kind of being moved.
She's kind of just like rocking her hips, and
Yeah,
he's kind of like holding her and swinging her back
and
and
putting her
forth and
putting her
stuff.
places. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So already once removed, Jamie Lynn Spears was on the show. She's been kicked off since then. Um,
I think it's because of Brittany.
100%. She was not the lowest person on the totem pole when it came to the votes and the scores.
Mm-mm.
So they claim it was some big surprise that she got kicked off. She's also got a little bit of RBF throughout the whole thing. Like she was not exactly like super friendly and peppy and stuff. She was just very like, I'm just doing this so everybody can see that I still got it. And, you know, I'm showing my kids I can do it. Like
Yeah.
she wasn't super fun to watch.
In fact, until you said her name, I forgot that she had been on the show.
Right. It was, yeah. I wish she would have played into the whole like, I'm Britney bitch thing a little more. Like play it up. Your sister's dancing with knives on her home TV right now. Like
Come
just
out with a yeah.
if you would have walked out with like a big yellow snake around your body and then like done some knife dance out there, you would still be here.
Do a dance to Toxic. Everyone
You
would
would
eat it up.
still be here.
If you dance to Toxic, you would be on this show.
You would still be here.
Own it. Just own the whole thing.
She's all like, no, I'm not going to talk about Britney because that's not why I'm here. I'm doing this all for me and my family.
I'm talking about Britney.
You know what? You're missing out. This is your loss. You're getting kicked off. Like, done. Go home. All right, next is Charity Lawson, who is dancing with my favorite Artem. She was the Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't watch that season of The Bachelorette.
Did not. Nope.
But apparently she did get engaged at the end of that season, and she is still engaged to that gentleman. Mm-hmm. She's cute. She's good. She's a little pageant-y for my taste, but like
she's very pageant-y, but she's a good dancer.
Yeah, but she's holding her own. And I loved the episode where she was doing it like for her dad, and her dad came in like and she danced and then at the end went and hugged him and all like that stuff. I get that. That works. Okay, and then of course the star of the show is Ariana Madix is on this season. We talked about Tom Sandoval coming on The Masked Singer, but Ariana Madix has made her way into Dancing with the Stars. She's dancing with Pasha, who I do enjoy as well. But yeah, Ariana's kind of had to let everybody hear her story once again about, I got, dumped by my boyfriend and he was hooking up with my best friend and blah, 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 and everything. And she's kind of had to take that story again, but she's had a big cheering section. She's had people from Vanderpump Rules in the audience every episode, and her friends and whatnot. She kind of seems to be taking this on as just a kind of take back her own self and have some fun and whatnot. And I think she's doing well.
She's not a bad dancer, no.
She got some good scores this week. I think as soon as she, I think she's right on the edge of maybe loosening up a little bit. You can tell she's not a TV actress per se. She's been on television, obviously, but never for a crowd, never for, she's not having to perform an audience. She's not a dancer. She's never had to perform something for groups. And, she's not a singer and all that stuff. So that is obvious, but I do enjoy her.
And her boyfriend's been there a couple times.
He has.
Yeah.
And, I'm hopeful that she will get to stick around for her own mental health. Like, let's not kick her off too early and just send her in a spiral back behind the bar. But I don't know. We'll see. Some of these people just give me such a weird feeling. Like I haven't quite gotten into the season yet,
Yeah. It's always fun for me. Like if you've watched the show long enough, you can tell you can see just by watching who the better dancers are, but you can also tell like who needs a little more help on the floor, like who might be forgetting the routine by watching. I like to watch the professional partners, because they'll be giving instructions. They'll be like, kick. Now this, but some of them just sit there and smile and make faces with the others. Like, you got this. I don't need to instruct you. I'm here if you need me, but you don't need me. That I always enjoyed that part of it. Like to see who's being given instructions throughout the dance versus who's not.
There was one the other night. I'm just looking at the pictures. It was Emma, as she was dancing with Mauricio. Yes. And she was going quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Like she was saying it as we were dancing. And I could see it all. And I'm like, if I can see it, the judges can see it. Like, okay, we get it. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. And then she'd get right by the judges and she'd smile real big. Quick, quick, slow. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's funny.
that's my entertainment.
But then you've got somebody like Daniela who is dancing with Jason Mraz. And she's just like,
he's not looking at me anyway.
You don't even have to look at him. Like, she's just like, I'm dancing, he's dancing, we're good. Let's have fun. She's a little bit of like, I feel like she's a little bit of like the bad girl of the dance floor sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't like her at first, but when Dancing with the Stars came on tour and I took my children to go see it, which I will caution anyone on doing from here on out. Did I ever tell you about that?
No.
Did I tell you what happened? Oh my gosh.
No.
This is just
the only dance tour I've ever been on is So You Think You Can Dance. And I went to that like years ago.
Okay.
They were on tour.
Yeah.
And that was family friendly. Is yours not family friendly?
I have been on that. I've been on that as well. Okay.
We may have gone together to that.
True. But this was like a year and a half ago or so, 2 years maybe. And the tour, you know, that they're always promoting at the end of Dancing with the Stars, right? This was the year that, what's the girl's name whose husband, Nick, died from COVID?
Oh, I don't know, but I know you're talking about.
You know, the blonde girl that's on the talk or whatever now, or whatever she was.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was her season that she was on. And so she was like the host of the tour. Okay. So anyway, I got tickets. It came to, should have been my first sign, the casino that's right up the street from us. But it was a all ages show. All ages show. I checked in everything and I was like, great. So my kids, you know, my girls love watching Dance with the Stars, and we would always talk about it. Like, they had favorites that year, all this stuff. And they love Artem too. And anyway, it was great. So we get tickets, we go to the show, men, women, everybody there, like it's mixed age crowd. And we get in, I feel like we've got pretty good seats, you know, and they only announce maybe a week or two before the show who all's going to actually be at your location. Because I guess they transfer in and out, you know, based on who's going to be there. Okay. And at this point, like Emma and what's his name, were still married. Whoever her husband is on the show. Anyway, they were still married. And so they were going to be there, and Jenna and Val were going to be there, and Daniela and Pasha, they're married. So they were going to be there. And Artem was going to be there. Like, we were pumped, right? So we go in and we sit down and the music starts. And the first song is It's Raining Men. And all the guy dancers, all the guy pros come out. And it could have been, I've never been to like a Magic Mike style show, but I'm guessing that's what this was like. And the women, like, all around us are screaming, like, take it off, like, while the guys are like with shirts open and like fans blowing on them and like the shirts flinging back and forth and stuff. And then they would like take their shirts off and like swing them in the air and everything. And so it was like only the guys dancing. And, you know, so my youngest is sitting over here and she's all into it. She's the dancer of the group too. So she's just like, I love this. And she's like, look, Mom, there's Artem, you know? And I'm like, okay.
I see more of Artem than I thought I would.
Yes. And then I look over to the other side, who my teenager's sitting there. And I mean, she's about to melt into the floor because she's just like, I can't believe I'm watching this with my mom.
Right.
And she's just like, she knows good and damn well what's happening up there right now. And she just like looks at me and smiles and is like, "Oh my gosh." And I'm like, "I don't know." You know, like,
It said family friendly.
it did. It did. And I mean, I was picturing, dances from the season, right? Like the show we had just watched, and you would kind of recreate some of them or whatnot. Nope. Nope. This was like a review, like a male review. This was all the guys dancing, and then they jump into the aisles because this is just a casino ballroom. We're on folding chairs on the floor. Okay. We're not like in an arena of any sort. We are on folding chairs in a conference ballroom. They are on a fold up stage. Okay. And they jump off the stage and they come running down the aisles and are just like tagging hands with ladies as they go by. So what does my 11-year-old at that time do? Just like reach her hand out and grab for Artem whatever piece of skin she can grab. So she gets a big old chunk of Artem's abs, and she's just like, "Mom," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And then the girls come out, and then the girls do like equal amount of scandalous dancing. And then it's like all the dances that they're doing they're beautiful. They're great dances, of course. But I mean, they're like in the crowd and grinding on each other and like, getting the crowd involved. And you like that? You like that? You want to see more? It's like,
Oh.
it was crazy, crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, we got home and I mean, Wes was like, "How was it?" And the girls were like, "That was awesome," and Charlotte's just like ran to her room and like shut the
I
door.
want to talk about it. Don't ever talk to me about this ever again. Oh, that's hilarious.
I mean, I've got videos. I'll send them to you after like a little
Listen.
clips of videos.
Kudos to you for getting your daughter to go, because mine, I know, would be like, "Ew, no, I'm not going." Okay.
I mean, I was sending videos to my mom of this because, my mom loves the show. We talk about it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sending videos to her going, like, with the emoji of just the big round eyes, being like, I don't know. Like, I don't have anything to say other than just watch this because I don't know. Like,
Right. Oh, that's hilarious.
yeah. So, yeah, that was my experience. It was interesting. Note to self,
In case it comes in my area, do I want to go to this?
you want to go.
I just don't want to take my kid with me yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It is just not for the younger ones, probably. But you and your girlfriends, 100%.
Okay. Maybe if I can find something that's not a ballroom where I'd be like mortified.
I mean, I'm talking sitting, like I said, we're in folding chairs sitting on the floor in a conference ballroom where my kid has just hands out the whole time on the aisle. Like at the skating rink, when you just are going by and people are tagging hands. She's the whole time. Like she's touched all of them. All of them.
She
Anytime
had the
they
best
walk
night of
by,
her life.
anytime they're running by, she's just tap, 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 tap. Yeah, every time. So, yeah. And she'd be like, "Oh, sweaty." And I'm like, "Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Oh. Okay. Well, so that's great for story time. Just wanted to share. Yeah, that's Dancing with the Stars this season. Again, not super impressed. We talked about Survivor as being, you're not watching it. It's fine. They had somebody self-evict as the first person to leave. They were like, "I've been here one day and it really is hard. I want to go home. Can everybody vote me out?" I'm like, you know what? If this is a sign for the season, I'm out. See ya.
I get annoyed with that stuff because I get that you think you can do it, but you've literally taken the place of somebody else who might have been on there and wanted to actually compete. That to me is just
that stuff bugs me. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. And then they've got, and I mean, it literally, there were two people that were like, I mean, I kind of want to go home. Don't you want to go home? And the other one's like, yeah, this sucks. Like, this is really bad. And it's like, they've been there 8 hours or
What
something.
did they
You know?
think it was going to be? Have they never watched the show? Did they think they were just going to be glamping, or
Well,
was
and then every little interview, you know, they do that they were doing to the camera, they kept going, I mean, if you think it's easy from while you're sitting on the couch at
no,
home. And I'm like, no,
no, I
I
don't.
don't.
That's why I've never signed up to do
This
that.
is this is why I'm watching from the couch because
Yeah.
I do not think this is easy. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, it's she's like, I'm just hungry and I'm really tired. I'm like, you've been there
Really?
8 hours, but whatever. So that's like a sign for the season that bugs me. And they also have a guy that's come back that year or this year that is on the very first episode of last season in the first challenge, like the one when they step off the boat,
Mm-hmm.
he runs to the challenge and busts his head on the piece of wood that they have to climb under, and medics make him go home.
Oh, so they
And
gave him
so
another shot.
this
Okay.
guy has brought him back, and people are pissed that he's there.
What?
And I'm like,
Why?
yeah, I'm like, he didn't get to play last time.
He literally ran and was like,
Hit his
okay, I'm
head,
done.
bled everywhere, and then
Yeah.
medics sent him home. And they were like, yeah, but like, he's already had his shot to be here. And da-da-da. And I'm like,
Did
not
he though?
really.
Did he
Not
though?
really.
And he has no advantage over any of you. He knows
No,
nothing that's about to happen
no.
except for the jumping off the boat part.
Yes.
That he's
So,
done before. So
yeah. So he's already like fighting a battle and stuff. And so that makes it dumb too. So yeah, I kind of just have a problem with that. And let's see, with Amazing Race, you know, again, I think, like I said, I feel like that's the grown-up show
mhm.
of everything. I feel like that's the one that everybody can watch.
That's the one that I think I would actually like to do at some point.
Agreed. I think that would be so much fun. And
Yeah.
obviously, I feel like you get the most out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Survivor, I get people mentally think that they want to do it. Like they get something, a mental and emotional satisfaction out of it. I guess like they're, you know, this, I can do it. I can survive and do this. And I don't need that.
I've never had that.
I don't need
thought
that justification in my life of anything like that.
No.
But to be able to travel and go and do and see all these places that they do on The Amazing Race, now that would be worth it.
Yes.
In
The
my mind.
puzzles, the challenge. Yeah, they seem like
I love it.
things that you could do it with anyone. Yeah.
So it's definitely one of my favorites. It's still a little too early, obviously, in the season because there's still so many couples right now racing. As it drills down, it gets a lot better. But it's early. We'll see. And last but not least, we can't talk too much about it because we're in the thick of it, and we're going to have a little recap here at the end whenever things start to tone down. But Big Brother has been going on. You and I have chatted an itty bitty tiny bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this on the last episode because we both agreed that the whole multiverse thing that they're doing this year is stupid.
Yeah, I don't.
And I still feel that way. I think they're trying too hard to make the whole let's keep them on their toes thing happen. Nobody needs you to change up themes every week.
Mm-mm.
Nobody needs you to have something scary or something, whatever. Like, you don't have to have that vibe for the week. Like, just let them play the game. It's enough.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask your opinion on the Sari and Jared advantage of being a duo or a preset duo. Jared is now out of the house, obviously. Sari You know, I've seen a lot of this online, is what I'm getting at. A lot of people talking about like, why one set? Like, why one thing? Like, why this person getting to have an advantage, as well as the fact you are a survivor legend? Like, not only do you come in here having this survivor, you're a celebrity and like whatever, but now you've had this advantage of having somebody sort of being in your corner that nobody else knows about. Um, do you think it helped or hurt Cerie's game?
I don't think Jared is an advantage at all, to be honest.
I couldn't stand Jared.
I mean, he was more of a
Couldn't stand him.
liability to her than anything.
Yeah,
He's talks so much
yeah,
and is a one upper. Like someone says something to him, it's almost like he wanted to be revealed without actually revealing it, except for the person that he actually did reveal it to, which I'm
hmm,
shocked she's still keeping it secret.
agreed.
But to me, Cerie was already at a disadvantage coming in, having been on Survivor. Like
Yes,
to me, it wouldn't have been shocking if they had been like, she's got to be the first person we get out of here. That would not have shocked me at all.
right,
Having Jared, I think the only advantage, had he been a good partner, would have been them being in different alliances and saving each other. I don't see an advantage with them aligning.
hmm,
Where I think they made their mistake is in aligning with each other.
sharing info of
Sharing
sorts.
info
Yeah,
is fine. Stay
right,
on your side of the house with your alliance. I'll stay on my side of the house with the alliance. We'll kind of try to navigate and keep each other safe within those two alliances
right.
without actually becoming an alliance. To
Yes,
me, that would have been more strategic. And yes, then I would have been like, that's a little bit of an unfair advantage. But Jared at all points to me was just, to him, had she known the things that he was saying, and if she watches this season back, she's going to be like,
I
he
agree.
hurt our game. He not only hurt his game, but he hurt my game. Like, he
He's
just talks too much.
and he's rude about
He's
it too.
very
Like
rude. Yeah.
he was not one to, when he would either call people out or like try to catch people in a lie or something like that. He's real mean about it, and it was not like, that's not how you play. Like,
And he
you
lies
can't.
to people's faces, knowing they're going to be him like, well, let's just go get him. And then he's like, okay, well, I lied.
Yeah,
You're not smart about this
right.
game. Like,
And you know what? And if he found out that people lied to him, he was so nasty to them. And I'm like, dude, you got to stop, because that's how people are playing the game, and that's how you're playing the game.
yes.
They're not firing off at you because you lied. They know that this is how you play the game.
Well, even
Um,
Cerise said, I think right before the week that he got nominated, she even said, I just asked Jared if he had heard anything. I didn't expect him to go in there and
right.
start, like, blow everything up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Well, she knows.
it's like she probably knows. I know my son better. Like, there's probably I think my sister watches the show too, and I was like, does she have any other kids that could have played with her? Or is Jared like it? Because
Mm-mm.
he's not good at this.
Well, she even said in one of her diary rooms something. She's like, now I got to clean up Jared's mess too.
Yeah.
She's like, I already had to clean up the mess of this alliance, and now I got to clean up Jared's mess too. Like, she knows. She knows. It's just, it seems weird because now, like, Cerise kind of faded into the background,
Mhm.
but now she's getting tied in with Felicia as well, still, even though technically they're not really together, you
No.
know? Their age is tying them together, and the fact that they went real hard, real fast in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
And, that happens a lot, obviously. That is still happening to Cameron. Hard and fast in the beginning. But, Cameron's had 9 lives in that house. He has been saved and brought back and won a champion or won competitions when he had to, and this and that and everything else. But,
Look, I tell you, I think this whole season would have looked differently if Felicia hadn't played on her emotions and gotten rid of Heisem. He was the one person in their alliance minus Cameron, if they would have stayed true to him and Red, who was going to win a competition at some point in time, or was capable of winning a competition at some point in time. Felicia is playing too much of, she thinks she's smarter than everybody else. She's
Yes.
plays into emotions and doesn't think through. She thinks like in the moment, not
doesn't
2
think
or 3
the next
steps
step.
ahead.
Yes. And that's what's gonna be her downfall. That's
Yeah.
why Cameron has still been here.
Yes.
He actually has, like, I mean, I don't think Cameron's gonna win because it's not gonna he's you know,
He's too good.
exactly. He's too good. They're
He'll be back
not
for an
gonna-
all-star. If there's an all-star, Cameron will be back because he is that
100%.
good. I told you
100%.
at the beginning I wasn't a Cameron fan because I just felt like he was cocky and he was just full of himself. But the more I watched him play, I think I texted you and I was like, I'm a Cameron fan.
Yep.
Because he's just, and he does lay back. He makes his moves, but then he doesn't ruffle any feathers during the week. He listens to people. He doesn't make promises to him that he knows he's not going to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of lets everybody infight amongst each other and have their battles.
And he
just
keeps
wins
his mouth,
competitions.
he keeps his mouth shut too when
Yes.
he doesn't feel like telling them. Instead of lying to them, he
just
just
doesn't say anything.
doesn't tell them. And
And he
there's a
kept his
difference.
word to Jared. He was
He
like, I will
did.
not nominate Sari. And he
I
kept
know.
his word. He said, I will help protect her as long as I can.
And like, if you dive deep, and it's one of those things where I say it every season, is that I wish I could have like a 1 month later after everybody's home, after the show's done, and then make them all go back and watch the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where all those people that are sitting there that hate Cameron and are like, oh, he does this and he causes so much trouble of this and he's done this and he's won that and all. If they could go back, and of course, as with other cast members too, Jared, they could know the truth about Jared. They could see the diary room stuff that Felicia says about people. They could see all these things. And I'd love to hear their responses afterwards of, okay, wait, like, wow, Cameron was being loyal to Jared. He was being loyal to Red for, like Red's already been online saying, oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I overreacted. I should have trusted that Cameron was being true to me. He was just playing the game.
Yeah.
And
he was blindsided. He didn't know that was happening.
That's right. And so, all these things that are going on, and y'all are just assuming you're all just mad because Cameron kept winning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're mad about. It's not any other stuff. He's winning because he was playing the game the right way, and you're mad. But if you look back on it, you're going to find out he wasn't lying to y'all. He wasn't deceiving any of you. He was just being smarter than you.
Yeah.
And I wish I could hear recaps from all of them after they all go back home and watch it.
Listen, I know they show them parts of things in the jury house, but if they're not planning a jury member returns,
yeah,
I want them to see the full episode the way we see it. I
think it'd be great.
I want to see them show people who's talking about who, and I want them called out on it. It would be a much better Big Brother, because the full point of Big Brother is we can see and hear everything
Somebody's
you're doing.
Watching you. Yeah.
So be careful of what you say.
Yeah.
So if you're going in the diary room and being reckless with your words and talking about people, not thinking, oh, they may make it to jury, and then at some point they're going to hear this, and that may affect my game. I think people play differently. I don't like that they edit what they show the people in the jury house if there's no chance of them coming back.
That's right. It's the same way with like goodbye messages.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like there's some people that just don't care. Like they'll say whatever they want in the goodbye message, whether you're in jury or not, like, especially if they're mad enough.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm happy you're gone. Goodbye. I had this alliance, and this,
yeah.
We were doing this to backdoor you, whatever. And some people like Ian, Mike Boogie, those people, Zach, those people all like used to spill all their little secrets like that because they knew that those people would go in the jury house and say, oh, well, guess what I heard in the goodbye messages. And then people would start talking and putting things together, and they'd realize that person was actually playing a proper game.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, they'd say like, I hated I had to lie to you, but here's why.
Right.
That's what's supposed to happen. you know? And I wish they would do that as opposed to, oh, I'm so sorry to see you go. Can't wait to see you on the outside.
Not
Bye.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So on TikTok, I followed this like girl who basically watches the feeds all day and then she'll post little
Yeah.
snippets from it. And so then she'll say like, "Ooh, watch this conversation or whatever." And a lot of times I try to scroll by pretty quickly so that I don't get spoiled. She'll put a title to it. So it says like veto winner, coming up or something. So you can scroll by if you don't want to see it. But there was one that said harsh conversation, Cameron and Blue. And she said, like, she came on first and she was like, there's no spoilers in this. She was like, I was just kind of surprised by this conversation. And it was just everybody kind of sitting around in the kitchen and the little dining table stuff. And Cameron was like, he's like, I can't wait till we're all out of the house. He's like, and, we can maybe have some like normal conversations amongst all of us, like without the pressure of thinking like, who's saying what and who's telling who what. He's like, I would, even he's like, I know we don't all live in the same area and stuff. He's like, but I'd love to just like have y'all's phone numbers and maybe we can like FaceTime sometimes and like y'all can see my kid and whatever. And he was just like, it'd be cool to be like normal around you guys.
Yeah.
And Blue was like, Cameron, your number is the first one I'm blocking.
What?
And I'm like, why are you guys like I know we don't see everything either, but from what I understand from these feed watchers and stuff that I've seen, it's like Cameron kind of like keeps to himself and he's not bugging anybody and stuff. It's just he keeps winning. So people are ticked off by it. That's it.
But to me, isn't that who you want to align yourself with?
Right. Not
I
only
want to
that, but
align
he's a little
myself
bit
with
of a
people.
shield. Yeah.
Right. Like, I want to align myself with people who are going to be able to actually protect me by winning things.
Yep.
I don't want to be like just a vote.
Yep.
I'm not in an alliance just to be a vote to prop our numbers up and be like, okay, well, we want them gone. Where's the joy in that?
No, I know. And he's funny.
He is.
Oh my gosh. And he's clever. And he's a stay-at-home dad. Like, how is that not fun to talk about and sweet and stuff? But
He's got
just
great hair. I mean,
love it. But I just feel like he's always got a fun attitude too. But whatever. I know we're not in there, but still. I'm a fan of him. So we'll see. There's a lot of game left to play. They just now are sending people to jury. So all of these people that are here that we're seeing currently are going to be around for the long haul because they will be in the jury house or in the finale. I thought that was super cute whenever Cameron basically made his way back into the house and he knew and then he won head of household after that, which meant he had one more week guaranteed in the house. And then he knew that was the jury week. So he like looked at the camera and he was like telling his daughter, he's like, I'm not coming home for a long time because even if he got kicked out the next week, he's going to be in jury for the whole time. So
I predict it'll be either him or Matt who wins America's Favorite.
I agree. I think people are going to be surprised I think people in the house are going to be surprised that people liked Cameron so much.
Yeah. And they're going to wonder why. Mm-hmm. There's always that year where someone thinks they're America's Favorite, and then when it's actually voted, they're like, what?
Yeah, really?
And then that's what makes them want to go back and watch the show. Like, what did I not see?
That's right. Yep. So we're getting there now, but
I'm just ready for Corey and or America to go. I
would like America to go. I think
I'm good with either one.
I think Corey deserves to play a little bit longer when it comes to playing the game. I don't want him to win, and I don't think he's like the best by any means. But I'm tired of America. Like, and she's trying to play all badass whenever she does her away messages. She's like, bye, I didn't want you in the house any longer. That's why I voted you out. Okay, bye. And I'm like,
that's
no,
all you could do, though, is vote because you're not getting anything.
That's exactly it. You're only doing what Corey told you to do. And, stop. Like, just You're not winning. You're some super fan that you keep like telling us like we've never seen this show before about these games and what everything's happening, and you're like, I've been waiting for this game. Well, you know what? You should have practiced more because you did horrible or whatever it
Yeah.
was. She's not doing great and she's annoying. So I need America to go. Like I said, Corey will not be far behind her, but I do think he deserves it a little bit more, just in the sense of it'll be interesting if he was on his own, what he would be like.
Yeah, America to me, and I don't know your take on this, there's a little bit of a double standard there because some of the pressuring she's been doing with Corey in the beginning of their showmance, which I'm still not convinced is 100% real,
Yeah,
like pressuring him to kiss her and to hook up with her in the house.
that's all she
Had,
talks about.
had it been on the other way around and it was Corey doing that to her, people would have been calling him out, asking him to be taken out of the house. It was sexual harassment. It's bordering on sexual assault. But that's all she's talked about for 3 weeks.
That's every
No one
diary
said
room
anything.
thing.
And he even expressed that he was uncomfortable with it. And
Yep.
nothing happened.
Well, that's why I would prefer her gone first too. Is like I even think whenever Corey's in the diary room that he actually has some really good ideas
Hmm.
and strategy wise, but I don't think he knows how to execute it.
No.
You
Well,
know?
his best play was, and Izzy's worst play was Izzy telling him, confiding in him. That was his best play of the game. And her worst mistake, like, Izzy, what are you, when she was telling him that, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And Izzy's real bitter. Izzy's been
she should be
online.
bitter at her, only at herself. Like,
Yeah, she's real mad at stuff online. She's like been outspoken and like about how like she doesn't want to address certain things and stuff because she's mad and whatnot. And it's like you need to go back and watch.
yeah,
Izzy.
you should have kept your mouth closed, just like Jarrett should have kept his closed.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
McCole made it through what, 8 weeks before anybody even realized she was there and put her on the block.
Even Zingbot said it.
Yeah.
Even Zingbot was like, Nicole. And he's like, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I totally forgot she was gone because she'd been here for so long without me knowing. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting season. It's going to be strange to see where it goes from here because a lot of the alliances are starting to cross over now. And of course, every time it gets to Jury House, it gets good and interesting, you
Yeah.
know? So I always enjoy Big Brother. I can't like deny it, but I do wish that stupid metaverse, whatever, was not happening. That makes me so upset every episode. It's
I
like
want to know who
everything
came
will
up
be
with that.
fine.
Who came up with that in the strategy meeting, and
No,
who voted and said, "Oh, that's a fabulous idea." That
no,
has got to be up there among the worst.
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But I think they'll hear that too. I think they'll hear it. I don't think we'll see it again.
Yeah. Well, I hope not.
I hope so. All right. So we've done a quick recap as best we can about all the game shows and competitions that are out there right now, seeing how that's really about all we have to watch these days. So here's hoping for a nice post-winter return of some normal television. Still got a ways to go on some of these competition shows to really find out who's going to be the winners and whatnot. So by the time we have our next episode, some of these will still be going on and we'll have further recaps, but we will resume into some of our next round of gossip and entertainment news on the next episode. I'm sure there'll be updates on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and the Kardashian baby that's bound to be happening soon. And, there was Will Smith news yesterday and Jada Pinkett Smith news. And yeah, things are picking back up now that kids can talk again after the strike's done and people are coming back out of their summer slumps a little bit. So next episode, we should have some of our regularly scheduled gossip coming back at you, and we'll let you know what we think about it. Thanks, Jeanette, for hanging out with me.
Oh, it's always fun.
Always fun. Always fun. Thanks to Moose for recording us today and putting it out for everything. And you guys, enjoy the beginning of your fall season. We'll be seeing you soon. Be sure to check out the rest of the shows over on themesh.tv. Something for everybody. Different shows being pushed out daily, different content for everybody. So again, themesh.tv. Find us on Instagram, find us on Facebook. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.